Everybody awake?
Yeah.
That's why I'm going last. You guys are all tired, right? Oh, I'm being famous. I'm being recorded too. You guys having fun today so far? Yeah. Thank you so much for all of the ACE members in here, all the other parks that are here and came present today. We love doing this. I want to thank Sodexo for doing the coffee, dessert, and lunch downstairs for you. And then I want to just introduce a couple of our team members that have been putting the event together and been with us today. Miranda in the back is our assistant manager of marketing and entertainment. So she does all the live shows and our advertising, as well as our Halloween and Scream Fest event. We have Joseph off in the far corner here. Joseph's the marketing and entertainment coordinator, so he keeps everyone alive and on track, so we can all do our jobs. And then I'm Chris, I'm the brand manager here at Canobie Lake Park, and I am joined by Justin, who is our rides manager, because I know this group, and you're gonna ask me rides questions that I can't invent the answer, because you all know the truth. So Justin's here for all those fun questions for us. So wanna get started?
Yeah.
All right, wanna talk about all the brand new roller coasters at Canobie Lake Park this year? None. One day we will do another one. I promise we'll do another one. But just want to kind of go through everything that we have kicked off, everything that we're going to be doing new for 2020, kind of across the board, and then answer your questions and get your feedback and see where you think we should be going. So obviously, Castaway Island has been where most of our focus has all been for the past couple of years now. So that opened last year with tremendous success. It helped that we had probably the best weather on Earth this past 2019 season. So this mild winter and this spring, I'm hoping that we have another great run of Castaway Island. So Castaway is the brand new water park that we installed this past year and opened at full steam in 2019. You guys may have already seen this video before of Castaway. I don't mind. I have you all trapped and I get to make you watch it again.
Escape to the island. Castaway Island at Canobie Lake Park. Our all-new family water park, free with park admission. Explore the island propelled by waves on our crazy, wavy tidal river. Head of the 60-foot island tower with 3 giant water slides and wild ride down. Visit the Wet and Wild Rain Fortress with over 180 ways to get wet. Watch your little ones splash in the Little Squirts Lagoon. Reserve your own private, relaxing cabana for up to 8 guests with food, beverage, and concierge service. Enjoy Castaway's Monkey Bar Adult Oasis, the Outrigger Grill, Pineapple Whip Bar, and much more. Plus enjoy over 85 rides, games, and live shows. Castaway Island, the island vacation you can drive to. Right here at Canobie Lake Park.
So that's Castaway Island. Anyone do that this year? Did you come visit it?
I did.
It is pretty fun. It's wild. I was in that river when we were closed one day for like 3 hours, just going around and around. It was probably the best. You were with me. Probably the best day that we've ever had here. So.
Who rescued you?
Who rescued me? Oh no. He's a lifeguard, so I'm safe. I had my swimmies on, so no, it's absolutely amazing. And we kind of did a lot in Castaway that was brand new. Certainly we have new restaurant in there, new bar in there, pineapple stand doing the Dole Whip Sundays, and we're kind of only growing that. Here's some of the food options that we had at Castaway last year, and if you didn't eat at the Outrigger Grill, it's fantastic. So I definitely suggest that you go there, and if you don't go to the Outrigger because that's not your style, the Monkey Bar did all right too. That was pretty good. So we like the Monkey Bar. Frozen pina coladas, you can't go wrong. What we are doing this year too with food is we're kind of doing just a look at the entire park for every single food location and food stand, and a lot is changing. So menu items are going to be changing, different types of products are going to be changing. They're really putting an effort this year into kicking up our offerings to really make food an entertainment part of our product. So we're excited about some of the announcements there that we'll share online in the coming weeks. As far as rides department go, I can throw it to Justin. We have the installation now operational. When did it start? Mid-October last year or so in the Screamfest season?
Yeah, Screamfest was starting up week.
For our Bertazon Antique Carousel. So Justin can kind of walk you through a little bit of that.
Yeah, so we added the Venetian Carousel last year. First on that, only goes about 4 RPMs, but it's definitely a family attraction. It's meant for both the kids and the adults to come on together, and it's a very now bright area of the park next to the Skyride that used to be a little bit more dark and nothing really there. So definitely an enjoyable ride. I can tell you there is a kangaroo that is very difficult to get up onto, even for me who's very tall. So it's a challenge getting on, but everything else is pretty enjoyable, and that is too if you can get up there. So down here, I know we listed some of the, there are 24 different animal figures. There's 3 half chariots, 1 chariot that can park a wheelchair, has the wheelchair tie downs attached as well. 2 spinning tubs, 9 benches that are spread mostly around the top level, the second level up there. But it was definitely a great ride. I enjoyed riding it. I enjoyed operating it. Very easy to operate, so that's always nice. And I think our guests liked it as well. So.
And there's also one more thing we're adding to our rides department, kind of, but also to our games and retail department, and that is this year we are launching onboard ride photos on the Yankee Cannonball roller coaster. So that'll be a pretty exciting addition. The Coaster Chase building right at the exit of the Cannonball is going to turn into where guests can view and purchase their onboard ride photos. And then we are also dressing up the Cannonball on the other side, on the queue line side, because what do you hate to stand in that queue line and look up directly into the hut? Sun. Now you're going to have a giant pavilion now that's going to be shading you. So Cannonball covered queue. So this is the model that we're building off of right now that they are building as we speak. So that whole games building that's to the left of the Cannonball, that is coming out. And we're purchasing newer games to go into it. So all the LEDs and the bright lights and the bells and whistles and all that. Because some of our games, you know, are very nostalgic is a great word for it. But Whack-A-Mole is going to be completely upgraded and then put dead center of the park here next to the Cannonball. Balloon Bust is going entirely new, as well as Talk Low, which is an upgraded water gun game because we're going to get rid of the original water gun. And then, yeah, giant awning pavilion that will go over the Cannonball queue line, and then that is the station of the Cannonball that you can walk right into. So everything will all kind of be themed together into that Cannonball style. We also have some new games coming in that are additional that we're not just replacing the whole building for, but some fun stuff. One of the things where Plinko was, where you could win in-park experiences or different prizes or things like that, is Hang Time. Has anyone seen that or tried that?
Impossible.
I mean, I'm an expert at it, obviously, but it really needs upper body muscle strength. So you actually have to hold on to like a bar and just hang. I know, but it's wild, and you have to decide how long you think. Like, can you hang more than a minute? Can you hang more than a minute 10 seconds? Can you hang more than a minute 20 seconds? And then the prizes continue to escalate, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I can do it." No, they can't. It's very difficult. And again, I'm not going to say I'm the most muscular upper body person here, but I will go against anyone who thinks they can go for more than a minute and a half. Best of luck to you. So we're excited for that, and then that is the new Whack-A-Mole style machines that are going to go into that building to the left of the Yankee Cannonball. Also for our games retail, we have done new puzzle room concepts. So the puzzle rooms that we have in the park, the 5-minute escape room experiences, 2 of the concepts are staying the same, and then 2 concepts are getting changed to a Spooky Mansion and to a Space Racers type puzzle room. So if you haven't done those or would like to try it, we certainly suggest that. And then one of our biggest announcements of all time was season passes. Who said that? Get out! Off property. Where's security? No, season passes. So this is one that we have been asked for every single day since 1902, period. Every single day. You know, I wasn't here in 1902, but if you look in the diaries, we got emails then too. But season passes has always been something that people have asked for. It's been a long time coming for us to kind of put together what makes the most sense for the types of guests that we come here, for how many visits guests typically come here, and what they're looking for out of a season pass. So I believe we may be the last park on earth to offer it, but that means we get to do it the best, right? Because we have all that data from everybody else now. So we jumped into it. We have launched 2 types One is a limited season pass, so it's everything except Saturdays and Sundays in July and August, and Saturdays during Screamfest. So on the days that it is unlikely that a season pass holder wants to be here is when it's not valid. So it works out kind of well. But for the people who don't want restrictions and don't want options, or don't want to have to look at a calendar, they can just come whenever they want. That's the $199 version. That's our Platinum Season Pass, and we'll welcome you anytime you want to come. So we are adding a ton of benefits to the season pass too. We haven't announced them because we're still developing them and how to administer them, but it's bring a friend days, it's in-park discounts, it's all the normal stuff that you guys have heard of and seen. And then also we'll use our season pass holders as well as our Canobie Club gold and silver members. Will be the ones that get invited to new ride openings or special media events or things like that. So it's really kind of creating a VIP clientele or a buzz clientele that's going to be with us in all these types of announcements right along you guys with the ACE event. So that is a big thing. They're sold in the dead center of the park. They are sold online at regular price, and then you can use your ticket that you buy online to come in the park to come get your season pass. Or if you're in the park, it's a cheaper rate because we assumed you had to have paid to get in at some point. So it'll be about $40 cheaper if you buy it here in the park as an upgrade. So that's what we have for season passes. For this year, for our live entertainment, quite a bit going on. First, we have in the Dance Hall Theater, Twisted Circus is returning. So those of you who saw that, it's like a cirque meets vaudeville meets freak show meets a little bit of everything, but it's all feats of skill and strength, stunts and activities like that. We have our tribute artist Matt Lewis coming back for The King Lives for a weekend this summer. We're doing a tribute to Taylor Swift and a tribute to the Jonas Brothers out on the Midway stage all season. We're going to be doing the Critters Live show with the costume characters. Critters Live has replaced our Vaudeville Magic show on the Village stage, so now the Canobie costume characters will have pretty much a whole day of fun and activities. You've been on a cruise, we're talking like Lido deck kind of stuff. There'll be trivia for kids, karaoke contests, but all administered through our costume characters as part of all that. That'll be our Village stage. Then we are also doing our mermaid program again, but Mermaid Plus. So we have our mermaids that'll come visit Castaway Island every single day and tell stories to the kids and get everybody excited about getting in the water and talking water safety. But then we'll have an upcharge experience for swimming with mermaids, learn to swim with the mermaids, and learn about the Canobie mermaids. That'll happen every day after the water park closes by people who have reserved a spot as an upcharge to be able to take advantage of that. We did it 3 days last year and really didn't promote it or really talk about it. We just wanted to try it out to see if it worked. Went fantastic. It was like 10 minutes. Every single one of the 8 sessions were sold out, and now we're going to continue it. So then as we move further into the season, we're going to bring the Country Superstars back in the fall on the Midway stage, as well as the Twisted Sideshow. And this year for Rocktoberfest, instead of doing a rotating band every single weekend, we're doing a tribute to Freddie Mercury. So that'll be on the Midway stage for the entire Screamfest. So we have a pretty awesome lineup of live shows this year. And that is pretty much what we kind of have new. So Joseph has brought us some tickets that we can hand out. I know you had some for your raffle, but Justin, what do you think? Do we ask some questions? Do we let them ask questions? What questions can I ask that you don't know already? Yes.
I'm not afraid.
You're what?
I'm not afraid.
You're not afraid. Ask the question.
Corkscrew.
Yes.
Always some mistakes, some paint markings on the ground.
I know.
Can you?
The stake markings on the ground honestly don't put like a whole lot of cloud into, because we stake all the time. Similar to that model that you saw about that new games building, we call it the Model Museum, but we have probably like 100 of those that never are projects that never come to fruition. So, you know, whether we're looking at a new ride, a new area, you know, we'll stake it out, we'll see how it'll work, we'll see how it looks, and then inadvertently one of you will see it, and then you'll email or you'll post it, and then we're like, no, we're not thinking of anything. But nothing has come to fruition. So there's no plans on Corkscrew, there's no plans around Corkscrew right now. I think the last time we had a bunch of stakes out, it was in anticipation of moving the train station down to the South Grove down there. So that was kind of marking out how big of an area we needed. And then when we saw that, we're like, yeah, this will work, so we'll do it. Yes.
Well, since you brought up a model museum,
Yeah.
is there any way that you could possibly show off some of the crazy, wacky ideas that never actually saw the light of day for various
The second I said model museum, I'm like thinking like that would be fantastic to like put these out and let people see them.
I'm sure you had some.
They're literally just on shelves
I mean,
in offices.
especially when you're talking like from 1902 to now, I'm sure there was some pretty crazy ideas that came up that were like, there's just absolutely no way this would do it.
No, and there's been projects that we've been all the way to like groundbreaking, and then one thing or another, and it disappears and goes onto the shelf. So the answer is yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll make a deal. I believe you guys are going to come back for an event or some point during this summer. At least we'd hope for you to come back during the event. And Russ and I are working on putting that together right now. So I will say that if you guys do come back for an event this summer, I will get as many models as I can get together that everyone's comfortable sharing. And I'll put them kind of down in the dance hall on some tables, and then we can have like a Q&A with looking at those. I think that'd be fun as heck. Miranda goes, I wrote that down. Yes.
Have you ever considered or looked into possibly having Fascination like Canobie's does?
Fascination like the game?
Yeah.
We did. We used to. I loved it. I remember playing it here every single day. It was what Jackpot Casino is now, was the Fascination building.
Wow.
And that was way back. I mean, Whalum was still around when we had that. I think we took that out in 2000. I want to say like 90. Does anyone know what year we took the Fascination out? Pick a number. You win 2 tickets. 99. Russ gets the first pick. Other questions? Yes.
What day is Big Band Day?
So right now, Big Band Day typically falls the second Sunday in June, and I think that is where we're targeting. Does that sound right? Miranda will confirm that. We haven't officially picked it because we have to wait for the Dave Whitney Band to formalize their schedule because they're the ones that play in there. But it's usually that second Sunday in June. Yes?
So I noticed on the website, Twisted Circus is being bumped up to 2 showings a day. Will that affect the previews at the main entrance stage?
So that's a great question, and the answer is yes and yes. So Twisted Circus was 1 show a day in the dance hall, 6:30 p.m. So we wanted to like people spend the day in the park, they spend the day in the water park, and everybody kind of all comes together at the end of the night for a big show in the dance hall. What we realized is that worked really, really well, too well. The dance hall can fit 1,250 people. We needed way more than that on some days, so we added a second show daily. But then we also have the vignette stage that we put out at our main gate where we would show off some of the acts of Twisted in anticipation of the show that night. And basically I don't need a contortionist that is working 8 minutes a day. I make them do a couple things out at the front gate, during the course of the time. But now 2 shows a day, it will limit how much we do on that vignette stage. So I envision stuff happening there when people are coming into the park, but then it'll probably disappear until the first show starts at about 4. Good question, though. Yes?
Like towards the end of the season, I saw the Roosters gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, are they coming back, or is that ride getting fixed, or?
Fixed, yes. And the Roosters, if anyone wants to open a company to make rooster parts, that'd be helpful. That being said, Justin, do you want to give an update on where we're at with the Rooster?
Yeah, so last I chatted with maintenance, they are making pretty good progress with it. It's still, I think, up in the air for opening right now, opening day, but they are making really good progress. The reason that it was down for a majority of is the part they needed to work on was sitting underneath the entire ride. So to access that, we had to take down the ride. But once the park closed, we were able to do that. So now the part's being repaired, and fingers crossed we'll be as close to opening day as possible. It should be, it's no plans on getting rid of it at all. It's a great ride. I love it. So it should be back soon.
Thank you.
When is the carousel house going to be painted? At the roof of the carousel?
Carousel is the carousel building is getting an entire treatment right now. So yeah, it's the roof, it's the believe we're closing it in now,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So it'll actually have like the plexi, the windows, and all that stuff. So we're gonna kind of go back as nostalgic as we can get with it, but to really kind of enclose it and encapsulate it back to its original. Yeah. Yes.
There used to be a rocket behind the Yankee Cannonball.
Yep.
Do you still have it, and do you have any plans?
So we had a giant rocket ship, right? Have I told this story before? Okay, so we have a giant rocket ship, and you ask if we still have it, and the answer is yes. What made us nervous about still having it is we basically have it out back, like in our boneyard, in our storage area for things from the past. But from Google Earth, that rocket ship is a missile in the middle of the storage area in Canobie Lake Park. So we're like looking at Google Earth and we're like, we gotta put a tarp over that or something. So now it has a big tarp over it. So you can't see, but no, the answer is yes, we still have it. No, there's no way that we can do anything with it. But maybe eventually make it a giant time capsule one day and put it back into the earth where it came. But that was an awesome ride. That was the most simple ride you can get, but it was pretty fun. And yeah, we still have it. We don't throw anything away. We can't. We're pack rats. The pontoon boat was that 50 passengers?
49.
49. That was close.
It can take 51 people, but we need 2 crew members.
Two crew members. That one's working out really well, and people seem to enjoy it. You are right. On those longer days, we have the lines. And are you still doing the ticketing thing?
Yes, so we do the ticket system on busier days. Typically, if there's any portion of the line after we've loaded the boat, we consider that a ticket day. So they'll start handing out tickets, and we're still working on really communicating that as best as possible to our guests, because some people don't understand. They think it's my ticket, I can leave, go do other things and come back, and that's not, it's just like any other ride, you still have to wait there, but that's making sure you don't get cut in line on the boat because you're waiting for, half an hour to get on. So it's very popular, especially on those busy days. I always tell people get there earlier rather than later, because we only go till based on sunset. So typically, our last run's at 7:30 for most of the season, and if you miss that 7:30 run, there isn't another one till the next day. So
yes.
Is there any plans on working on the Cannonball station to make it easier to choose your row?
There's no projects currently being worked on for like the Cannonball station. Easier to choose your row. It really is the way that station's built. It's first come, first serve. You have to do counts and figure out where you're at in the line. But yeah, no current plans for that station. Yes.
Any plans to ever bring it back to two-train operation?
Again, I don't want to say no, because that's always in a plan and in the plans, but we're not currently actively working on that. I think, long term that is the hope, but we got to weigh, where the priorities lie, because that is an enormously expensive project to redo the station, redo the, pass-through loading and all that kind of stuff, to make it efficient to do a two-train operation. And at this point, we've been spending that in water and rides and stuff like that. So again, hopefully it's still on the list, but it's not active on the list. Yes?
Has there been any recent thought on adding a single rider line to Cannonball?
Has there been?
I know we've looked at certain things with the current construct of it. It doesn't seem feasible, just how it's laid out. We're definitely still looking into ways to try to accommodate that. And I think as we continue to go on, and I know Untamed has a single rider's line. It's not as frequented as I think a lot of people think. A lot of people don't even realize it's there. I strongly recommend going to it. But I would love to put one into the Cannonball. We're just kind of limited in that space right now. But
Untamed, it makes sense, because you may need one like every run. The Cannonball is just so long of a process that the chances of having a seat left are pretty low. Yes?
I know it may be too soon, but is there any talks of possibly enhancing some of the haunts again for this year's Scream Fest?
Yes, absolutely, and yes, for this year's Scream Fest. So those of you who have been here, we are looking at taking a couple of our staple ones and retheming them entirely. And then we are potentially looking to add a 6th full haunt as well, just because those Saturday nights, I mean, we're super busy and we need places to have guests be able to enjoy it. So we're not exactly sure where that sixth one would go or how, but that's what we're working on right now. Yes.
You're gonna hate me for this, Chris.
What's that?
Since many years
The
ago,
lights
before you
in
started
the
the Halloween thing,
Psychodrome.
several of us suggested that you should be open for Halloween,
Yeah.
and it's been successful. I'm now going to make another suggestion to you that you should
It's
think
been
about.
successful here?
I think your Halloween event's been successful here.
Oh, open for Halloween?
Yes,
Yeah,
being
yeah,
open for Halloween.
Absolutely.
Why not investigate something similar to doing that for the holidays?
Yes.
Like Christmas time.
Yes, and I love it. Let's do it. What do we need? Some lights? Let's go. The answer is yeah, we are absolutely looking at that. We're always looking at that. And year to year, being totally honest with you, it's not that we don't want to do it. It's that 120 years ago, we were opened as a 3-season or 2-season or 1-season facility. And that means water lines and electrical lines. You know, there's a lot of winterization that needs to go on for this place to be able to open in freezing temperatures with food stands, bathrooms, anything revolving water or humans. So we're doing that. Like as we're building, you know, with our new front gate, we turn that is 4 seasons. You know, with our new restaurants or new stands or anything we're doing renovations, like we're making progress towards
So
that.
you are planning on trying to go in
I
that
think
direction?
we're chipping away at the stuff that we know would be an obstacle for us if we chose to go that direction. There is no plans to go that direction right now, and it's not on a 1-year or a 5-year plan. It's just on a like, let's get ourselves well set up first and then really have the conversation. So I would love it. I'm like all about it. I'm all about it. But yes.
So you have 2 months of experience now with your season passes. So I was wondering if you could comment on what your sort of uptake you've had on them and how you've seen it affect your crowds during those 2 months.
So when you say 2 months, it really was like 16 days because we're open just the weekends.
Right.
So there was definitely like an immediate, like, oh my God, you have season passes now, because we were also pretty like secretive, or not, I wouldn't say secretive, but we weren't out there like on the internet or radio or TV saying like, we have this now. We kind of just like opened that day, and like if people saw a couple banners or signage, like, you know, even like our team members, I think got, would we send out notification like that morning, like, P.S. if anyone asks, we do season passes now. What's that?
I walked into the park and in the morning and saw the banner.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, no, it's we definitely kept it under wraps only because the technology and the programming part of it took a long time to integrate our point of sale system with the Accesso product that is out there online. And that worked really well. So then we launched it, and then we started getting really, really positive feedback. And then really, by the end of the season, more people had talked. So now everyone's like, I want to buy them now. So we're like, okay, Christmas time. So then we sold them at the mall booths as well this year at Burlington Mall and Mall of Rockingham Park. And it did really, really well there too. And then now this time of year is kind of like a pause until, you know, March and April when we really get into the spring. So far we're very pleased with the results. There is no data to answer your question on, you know, how did that affect attendance or anything like that, because we're still, the numbers are still so small that, you know, that we're not, we priced it to a point where it'd be valuable for like our true fans and people in our community and who live in the area that want to come in, you know, but it is still about a 4 to 5 time visit that would pay for that. So it does need to be the people who really want to be here often. Yes?
When's opening day?
May 2nd. Let's do it. We're ready. What are we, March already? No, the only reason we can say February is because of the leap year, but it's March 1st. So that's like 8 weeks and we're turning it on, so.
Are you going to incorporate the technology for the bands that you have in your season passes?
No, because they aren't, the systems aren't married. And one, you know, they both have been success. So what is likely more likely to happen is when you come and buy a season pass, you'll get set up with a band right there because it's same building, same register, same human. And so that's the way that the season pass holders can then track their spending, and then get all those fun things. But we're trying to make it that you have to go to the Welcome Center to pick up your season pass, and then that's when, if you want to attach your credit card to your band, you can, or you don't have to, and you can just do the points. So. Yes.
What made y'all decide to do the season passes?
What made us decide to do the season pass? I don't know that there's a great answer to that would make sense, but I think it's just been a long time coming, and we've done a lot of talking to other facilities and finding out what the benefits and challenges and how they launched it, what restrictions and how they deal with situations and what people want out of it. And then it gave us the opportunity to kind of put together a good program and start it. So I think we just needed to be ready for it, and we needed to make sure that it doesn't, it doesn't change our product or change our audience, or we still are Canobie Lake Park. We still want to be Canobie Lake Park, but we want to get those people who, again, maybe live down the street, maybe live in Salem, maybe but they just want to swing in on a Wednesday and they want to go on some rides or come in and grab a candy apple at night. Again, I don't know that season pass holders are the ones that's like, let's go on an August Saturday. Good luck. Do any of you go on an August Saturday? You guys know how it works. Yes.
So mine's actually more of a feedback for you guys.
Perfect.
I work telephone customer service, and the company that I work for provides trash service for your neighborhood.
Excellent.
And I end up speaking to a lot of people literally that live right around this loop.
Sure.
And I happened to casually mention this to this little old lady that lives on Orchard Street. I would put her about 87. And I said, oh, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods this weekend. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, going to Candy. She's like, they're open? I said, no. I said, I'm going for private. And she's like, oh. She's like, I love that park. She's like, I've ridden Yankee Cannonball for however long it's been there. She says, the park is really good stewards to the town and the neighborhood. So just so you guys, I mean, you don't always get this kind of feedback, but the customers that I'm talking to that live within literally 50 feet of the park are always commenting on how you guys are really great with the neighborhood and track every step under control. And she's just like, if you happen to talk to somebody,
that could have gone one of two ways. So thank you very much. No, that's awesome. And we try, I mean, we don't like to boast about like what the park does for the community, but we are involved in it at a ton. I mean, just me, I'm the president of the Boys and Girls Club down the street. The park's super involved with a ton of nonprofits, and we actually donate annually to 1,200 organizations. So we want to be good stewards, and we want to be good neighbors, and we have to take that into consideration, for everything that we do. We're a business that, we've been here 100 years. We want to be here another 100 years, and that's the way to do it. You have to be good people too. So thank you. That was awesome feedback. Appreciate it. That's a great way to end this. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. I'm going to turn the program back to Russ, but if any of you have any questions or anything like that, certainly Russ, you can share my email with anyone who's interested. C. Nicoli is my name, Chris Nicoli, cnicoli@canobielake.com if you guys want to shoot me an email for any questions or any follow-up. But thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. And I'll be here in the room till you guys are done and gone. So if you have any further questions,